I'd now like to introduce Bucks County District Attorney Joe Cobb.
Good afternoon. We're gathered today to mourn the loss of 3 members of our community and to share our deepest condolences for their family. Fred Castiglia was 90 years old. He was a loving husband, father, and grandfather. Judith Castiglia was 84 years old. She was a loving wife, mother, and grandmother. Deborah Castiglia was 53 years old, a mother and a beloved math teacher in the Centennial School District for the last 26 years. I'm going to ask everyone here to please join me in a moment of silence for those we lost. Thank you. I also want to thank everyone here, especially those of you who have borne with us and had patience during a very difficult time these past few days. I know many of you were out there with us just a few nights ago at the scene at Heather Road in Churchville, experiencing brutally frigid temperatures. Imagine being there for 5 hours. That was what unplayed when our law enforcement professionals who were at the scene, it's what they endured as they successfully brought a killer to justice and brought him into custody safely without further loss of life. So I'd like to begin by commending all the members of the Northampton Township Police and the South Central Emergency Response Team for their heroic and professional restraint. Their work in bringing the suspect in this case, Kevin Castiglia, bringing him in alive despite being faced with an armed and eventually barricaded individual, was truly remarkable. So I'm here to announce that Kevin Castiglia has been charged here in Bucks County with 3 counts of criminal homicide and related charges in the brutal slaying of his elderly parents and his sister inside their home in Churchville. Our investigation revealed that Castiglia, age 55, murdered his parents, Fred and Judith, as they slept, and that he subsequently killed his sister, Deborah, inside the home on Heather Road. Following his arrest, Castiglia admitted to the killings while being treated at a local hospital, and then later provided a full confession to detectives as alleged in the criminal complaint. The investigation has shown that on Monday, January 26th, this year at approximately 2:15, Northampton Township Police were dispatched for a well-being check. They were first alerted by Deborah's boyfriend, who had grown concerned after being unable to reach her that Saturday. He visited the home on Sunday and saw no footprints in the snow despite her car being there. He then returned on Monday and was met at the door by the defendant. According to the complaint, the defendant was dressed in a robe and claimed that his sister was probably on vacation before brandishing a large psycho-style chef's knife and threatened to kill the boyfriend. The boyfriend retreated immediately and called 911. When police arrived, they were confronted by Castiglia, who was still armed with 2 knives, one of which was already stained with blood. Despite the use of less than lethal taser devices, the defendant retreated and barricaded himself in a second-floor bedroom for 5 hours. The South Central Emergency Response Team successfully took the defendant into custody at approximately 8:00 p.m. Inside the residence, the officers discovered a horrific scene. Deborah, located in the kitchen, deceased. Fred and Judith, dead in their bed in the master bedroom. And sharp weapons, including 2 samurai swords, or samurai-style swords, inside of the house. The defendant was arraigned Tuesday evening before Magisterial District Judge Brian Marriott on 3 counts each of criminal homicide, abuse of a corpse, terroristic threats, recklessly endangering another person, 2 counts of possession and administration of crime with intent, 6 counts of simple assault, and 1 count of resisting arrest. Due to the nature of the homicide charge, bail was denied. The defendant has been remanded to the Bucks County Correctional Facility. Now, I want to emphasize again that this was a contained domestic tragedy, and there's no further threat to the community. With me today are some of the law enforcement personnel that have brought this investigation to where it is today. We have Acting Chief of the Bucks County Detectives, Jack Slattery, and with County Detectives also Lieutenant Tim Perkins, Detective Ron McPherson, and Detective Jeff Jumper. From Northampton Police, Chief Steve LeCompte, as well as Detective Sergeant Pete Stark are here. And from my office, Deputy District Attorney Monica Ferber and Chief of Staff Brendan Flynn. If you have any questions, they'll be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Is it safe to say these criminal homicide charges will be murder?
Yes, he is charged with criminal homicide, and that does include murder. It includes first-degree murder.
Do you expect it to be a first-degree murder case?
Yes, I do.
Any word on the possible motive?
Not at this time. I can't comment at this time as to a possible motive.
Do we know how long, or do you know how long they were possibly deceased for? And it sounds like the parents were killed first, is what you're saying. And then how did the daughter come over? Have you learned anything about that?
We know that the parents, we believe that they were killed by the suspect in their beds, and that would have been the night before, and then on Saturday when their daughter came over, that is when we believe that incident occurred.
Is the knife the murder weapon, and is it the only murder weapon?
We have located one of the knives that we believe is the murder weapon.
Is it the only murder weapon? Is it a gun or anything else?
No, we believe that the Bucks County Coroner's Office has made preliminary findings that the cause and manner of death is homicide and stabbing.
And do you know why did the daughter come over because she didn't hear from her parents, and she was concerned? Was it a routine visit?
We can't provide that information at this time.
Do you have other contact there at that home? Other police contact?
I can't really delve into that at this time. That's certainly something we'll be looking into.
Question for you here. Just to clarify, the boyfriend went over, knocked on the door the first time, didn't get an answer, came back again the next day. And that is when first Kevin said maybe she's on vacation. And then did he pull a knife or did he go back and get it, or how did that?
I believe what indicated is that the daughter's boyfriend came over. He was asking where the decedent was. When he did not get an answer, the defendant produced a knife at that time and brandished the knife and alleged the threats to the boyfriend.
Right. Well, when did he say maybe she's on vacation? Was that
Yes, he did say that.
Okay. That before he pulled the knife on her?
Yes.
Okay.
Any history of drug use with this defendant or mental health issues that we know of?
I can't comment on that at this time.
Why did this husband go to the hospital? Was that just standard, or was there an injury?
I believe that that's standard operating procedure when there is a barricade situation.
Can you tell us a little more about the tasering?
I can tell you that attempts were made to taser the defendant when he was confronted by the police, and that he was able to deflect some of those tasers. But I believe one did. I'm sorry.
In the PC, it said police were familiar with the address and the defendant. Can you say what the nature of those contacts were and how many there were, if you can't go into further details on it?
I can't really go into further details at this time.
And I'm sorry, you said multiple tasers were fired, or however that proper term is?
Yes, I believe multiple tasers were attempted. They were not able, I believe, he was able to deflect them.
What
So
about?
when he was hospitalized, was that a result of being tased, or they never really affected him?
I think that is routine procedure for when an individual is barricaded, that they send him to the hospital to make sure that there is no injuries as a result of that. So it was routine procedure.
Is the
What about
resisting
pepper
arrest
spray?
attached to the tasing, or is it an incident
Well, I think when the individual barricaded himself in the back room, multiple attempts were made by the response team to get him to come out of that room peacefully. The defendant consistently refused to leave the room. He consistently refused to exit those premises at all. And for his safety and the safety of the response team, they eventually had to extricate him from the premises.
Do you believe
What
the
about a
samurai
pepper
knives were
spray?
used at all in this?
I'm sorry?
The samurai knives?
No, we do not believe that they were utilized.
And he shut the, he said he slammed the door on the officers, locked it after he was tased, and then he goes and barricades himself inside of a bedroom. And then at some point, shortly after that, the officers make entry into the home and make the discovery of the
Yes. The response team did make the discovery, yes.
And then around what time was that? And then how long, was that about 5 hours later that he came out?
Yes. He was barricaded for approximately 5 hours before they were able to get him out of that room.
And how did they get him out? Did he open the door willingly? Did they bang him down?
I can't get into the specifics of that at this time, but they were able to get him out with their methods to get him out of the room.
Did they use pepper spray or tear gas?
I can't get into that at this point.
Like, was this guy possibly, you barricaded yourself in 5.5 hours, 5 hours. Did he at any point, taunt the police or want them to, fight the police or something like that? Or
Well, he was not cooperative with the police during that, and multiple attempts were made by the response team to get him out peacefully. He refused to comply with those demands, so the team had to take the necessary steps to have him removed from the premises.
What did the suspect do for a living?
I don't believe he was employed at the time.
Does it appear that he may have collected samurai swords?
Not that we're aware of.
Any signs of struggle in the kitchen or any indication that there was I hate to ask this, but for sake of asking it, was she surprised by the attack or was there some kind of struggle? Or?
I don't believe there was any sign of a struggle.
Did Kevin live there with his parents, or was he visiting?
I believe he was residing at the residence with his parents.
We talked to a lot of neighbors. People are shaken up. Do you have a message for the community at this point?
I think the message is certainly that this was a tragic incident. It was, thank goodness, an isolated incident. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family at this time. I know it is a tragedy for all the neighbors that knew the couple and their daughter. I think just to say to the neighbors that certainly the police took every available step to make sure that they were safe and to make sure the community was safe while they fully investigated this matter.
And he's in prison now, he's not undergoing any kind of treatment or anything like that?
He's presently incarcerated at the Bucks County Correctional Facility. He will receive no bail.
the charges previously for him, I'm looking at the docket, they were withdrawn.
There were charges that were originally filed, charges of simple assault and terroristic threats, but as the investigation proceeded, those charges were subsumed in the recent complaint that was filed charging the homicide charges.
Okay, so they were done prior to this incident?
The charges were filed during the investigation, but then as the investigation proceeded and we were able to confirm all the necessary details, those charges were then subsumed in the new complaint, which specifically does charge the multiple counts of homicide.
Those initial charges were for the boyfriend when he knocked on the door?
Yes.
Did the Castiglias have any other surviving children?
I can't really get into that at this time.
How many children does Deborah have, or did she have?
Deborah, I believe, had one adult child.
She was single. She wasn't married.
Deborah was single, I believe, yes.
The weapon, did it come from the kitchen, from his house?
I believe it was from inside his house, yes.
And did the Castiglias live there for a long time? Do we know?
I don't know the exact time, but I do believe that they did live there. They had just, yes, they had, I believe, just recently celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary.
Do you know how many times they were stabbed?
I can't get into that at this time. Thank you.
Thank you. I can add one further comment in response to your question. When the defendant gave a confession, he confessed to inflicting wounds that were consistent with what the coroner found during the autopsies. And since there are no further questions, I'll just add to what Deputy DA Ferber said when you asked if there's a message to the community. In addition to assuring folks that there is no ongoing threat and that this suspect is in custody, he's being held without bail and will be facing justice in this building. I also want to reiterate what I said at the beginning of this press conference. Many of you were here yesterday, and we had a similar message because across the country, and certainly here in Bucks County, law enforcement is being tested every day. Right? In order to pass those tests, law enforcement needs support, they need training, they need accountability. We were here yesterday to talk about the arrest and no bail detention of someone who was literally trying to kill police officers by shooting at them, and they were able to take that person without any loss of life. And you saw the same thing here. You saw these trained officers and their colleagues doing everything they could when it would have been possible, arguably justifiable, to use a higher level of escalating force, but instead, these were professionals who were there to keep everyone safe, and that's what they did. And they did their job, and we at the District Attorney's Office are grateful for the work that they have done. We are grateful to them for keeping us safe, and we are grateful to them for all that they do. Thank you for being here.
One last question. Did he seem remorseful when he was speaking to the hospital workers?
I'll leave that question to Deputy DA Ferber.
I think he was very matter of fact. Okay.
And not to belabor, just I know you can't speak on specifics of how he was taken into custody, but can you say if it was on his part willingly or if he was...
You mean when he left?
When he was taken into custody in the house, did he kind of turn himself in or...
I think they were able to enter into that room. That's what I would say. They were able to enter into that room and successfully apprehend him. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.